interactions. I don't want to interact with those old people and laugh at them. They're all younger than you. I know. Good afternoon, everyone. Let the record indicate it is 5:03 p.m. and the Warwick City Council Finance Committee is called to order. I just want to let everyone know Councilman Napper is going to be delayed, but we will be starting the meeting on time. Okay, sorry for the delay. We will start by getting the Finance Committee agenda. Let's see, do we have any minutes? We do not have any minutes. Okay. Starting with item number 1 on page 1, 2027-061, purchase 10 laser platform 5-year agreement. Good afternoon, Major.
Good afternoon, Councilman. Robert Hart for the Police Department. Good evening. The Warwick Police Department is requesting approval for a new 5-year contract with Axon beginning October 1st, 2026 for replacement of our current Taser 7 conducted energy weapons. The contract will upgrade our officers to the latest Taser 10 platform, which provides enhanced performance, improved officer safety, expanded less lethal capabilities. It will also expand our virtual reality training program, allowing officers to receive more frequent and realistic scenario-based training in de-escalation, decision-making, and use of force situations. The total cost of the contract for 5 years is $795,047.88. And this includes the devices, holsters, charging equipment, licensing fees, instructor certifications, etc. And that'll be funded through Budget Code 3340 service contracts.
Thank you for that, Major, and also thank you for reaching out to me over the weekend with a couple of heads ups. And I did ask you a series of questions yesterday via email, and you provided them timely this morning. Thank you. So I'm going to read those into the record as well as your answers. What was the cost of the previous contract for tasers? Answer. The current contract included several add-ons and edits over the span and ultimately ended up costing approximately $40,000 per year of the contract. Question 2. What is the starting and ending date of the previous contract? Answer. 10/1/2021 through 9/30/2026. Next question. Are the current tasers still operational in support by Axon? Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Correct, sir.
Taser 7 is still operational, but are at end of product life and out of warranty as of 10/1/2026. Taser recommends a 5-year usable life for their weapon systems. After 5 years, they believe that electrical connections in various parts are more prone to failure since these weapons undergo daily wear and tear, exposure to temperature extremes, humidity, etc., etc. Note, the cost to retain the Taser 7s for another 5-year contract would rise to approximately $153,000 per year compared to the Taser 10s at approximately $156,000 per year for a much newer and capable product as indicated below. Major, before I go further, can you explain to us why this increase from $40,000 a year to $150,000 a year?
Short answer is no. This is Axon's current pricing model from when we first had it 5 years ago, and every year it's gone up after the 5 years, and this is where we are.
And they're a sole source?
They are.
And it's essentially because they can?
Well, they provide an outstanding product. They have the research that backs it up. They have the legal teams to support you. They have a ton of support. Their training is top notch. So they're a very good company, and they charge a premium for their services.
Okay. Next question, a follow-up to question 3. If so, why is it necessary to upgrade at this time? Answer, the Taser 10 provides significant upgrades. 1, greater standoff distance, 45 feet compared to 25 feet. This allows for more time and distance to de-escalate, provides an area of safety, and avoids immediate hands-on techniques which can reduce injuries. 2, Taser 10s provide a larger capacity, allowing for more deployments, 10 compared to 2. The new Taser program includes an enhanced virtual reality training suite that use VR headsets and tablets for realistic training. 4, the program offers better integration with our body-worn cameras, internal event evidence software, and now include an analytics program to track deployments and assist the officers' training and use of the device. Next question. What was this item included in the capital budget? This was budgeted with our service contract budget code 30-340, as we have done for the past several years. Follow-up question. If not, why not? This is not in the capital budget since the majority of the cost is the licensing / services and consumable parts that not the asset itself. Could these yearly fees come from asset forfeiture monies or other grants? Answer, we do not have a grant or guaranteed forfeiture fund to cover this expense as a recurring basis. Our grants / forfeiture generally are used for one-off purchase programs where this is an item that is part of the reoccurring operations and yearly training, so we budget for it each year. Next question, if approved, what is the delivery time as well as the warranty? Items would arrive around early September 2026, and the warranty is for the life of the contract, which is 5 years. As most of you know, there will be times when I ask questions before the meeting. And when that occurs, I will read those questions as well as the answers that I receive or don't receive from various department heads. So, Major, thank you for producing these answers. I think you've covered what my questions or concerns were. Are there any questions from members of the committee? Councilman Muto.
Thank you, Chairman. The chairman gave an exhaustive list of questions.
I'm just
So-
getting warmed up.
I know you are. Just one follow-up. It had to do with the warranty. Is the warranty covered for the life of the agreement?
Yes, it is, sir.
So that's the hardware, software, all that good stuff.
Yep, it's called their TAP program. Yep.
Perfect. Thank you.
Major, is there anything that you would like to add to the questions I've asked, or anything else that you have?
I can just say that Axon Taser has been incredible to deal with, answered all my questions. They met with us, offered to have additional Zoom meetings and different things, and they've been very responsive.
And short of the obvious, what is the alternative to not providing these tasers?
So if we didn't have these, what are called CEWs, conductive electrical weapons, we would have to go back to just traditional batons, handcuffs, hands-on, continued de-escalation, of course. But the benefit of these weapons is they provide such a distance where you could isolate someone now 45 feet compared to the 25, talk to them, trying to get them to calm down, trying to get them to drop a weapon, etc. So it keeps people safer, it keeps the public safer, keeps the officers safer, keeps the person who's of interest safer, because we're taking time. We're slowing things down a little bit.
Okay. Any questions from members of the council? Do you have any questions from members of the council? Do we have any questions from members of the public? Are there any questions from members of the public? Hearing none, thank you, Major. We'll move on to item number 2. On page 13, it's item number 2027-063, rebuild compressor and replace 3 pumps for cooling towers at Warburton and Thayer.
Good evening, Eric Earls, Public Works. Public Works is requesting a 56-6 exemption to notice for Environmental Systems, Inc., ESI, to engage in services beyond the scope of the HVAC maintenance and repair bid that is in effect for Thayer and Warburton. They are the current vendor. However, this goes above and beyond. The department received a quote to rebuild the compressors for Thayer and Warburton in the amount of $96,556.39. Then in addition to that, there are 3 pumps for the cooling towers that require replacement, 1 for each ring, 1 backup. And the service for that is $56,673.35. So the total amount is $150,229.74 for repairs and maintenance on the chillers in the arena compressor room.
Director, how long has ESI been servicing our equipment at both of those arenas?
ESI came on board when Public Works took back maintenance of that facility. It was maybe late in 2021, so 5 years.
5 years, okay. In the position paper, your position paper, it says this system has served beyond its useful life as it was installed and brought online in 2003. This facility is used year-round. When you say this facility, which facility are you referring to?
Well, the rink in general. We will.
Both facilities?
Yeah, we'll take down 1 sheet of ice this time of year. So right now, there's only 1 sheet of ice over there. But the facility itself is open year-round.
So this is obviously going to take some time to do this, and they're going to have to shut this facility down, right?
Well, like I said, one of the sheets of ice is already out. So what they typically do is if they have to close, they'll do that one, then bring that sheet of ice back online, and then take the other one out as necessary. But our hope is that we have both sheets of ice by the time we get busy in the fall, which is really when we need the two.
Okay. You're looking for $150,229, and you're looking to take that out of the capital budget for the current fiscal year, correct?
Yes, I believe
Okay.
so.
And in doing these two items that we're talking about, you still will not have exhausted your capital budget account in that line item. Is that accurate?
I'm sorry, I don't have those numbers in front of me.
Let me rephrase the question. In that capital line item, 499-0451, has DPW used any of the $176,850 that was assigned or approved, I should say, by the council in the capital budget?
I apologize. I was incorrect when I answered before. This money is for going to be coming out of the capital for FY27. And I know that because Christy's watching and just sent me a text message correcting me.
So I quickly, and unfortunately, I did not print it.
Yeah,
I don't recall seeing 150,000 in fiscal year 2027 capital budget we just approved.
Oh no, I'm sorry. You're right. It's the FY27. I'm sorry. That's my mistake.
FY 26.
27.
So it's for the upcoming.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay. Sorry.
When I looked at the capital budget, I don't recall seeing a number in there for Thayer for fiscal year 2027. In fiscal year 2026, I saw the number of 176,850.
I believe there was 160,000 in the capital budget for FY27 for this type of repair.
Okay. All right, between now and the end of this meeting, I can just double check on that.
Chair, if I may, I see a cooling tower DPW Thayer in the capital budget for 176,850 for the 27. This is the capital budget we just approved, I believe. Let me just double check. Yes.
That's for the cooling tower.
Yes, cooling tower Thayer, it says.
Okay. Tell me that again, in fiscal year 2027?
Yeah, the 2026, 2027 enterprise and capital funds budget.
Excuse me, Council President. There's also a line item for compressor repair that is $160,000.
How much is that?
160,000.
160. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely correct, right below
What-
the cooling tower one.
What's the budget code item on that, please? For the 160, it's in the capital budget, right? Is that what
Yeah,
you're saying?
it's
Okay.
capital.
Okay.
Thank you.
There's no code on the document I'm looking at, so I can't help you in that regard.
All right.
I can send you a screenshot of it, though.
Okay. We'll just hang that in abeyance right now. So we just installed a new cooling tower, right? For 250,000?
Correct. 170.
170? But I think you were asking for 250 initially. All right, so you got it done for 170. So what's going on now with, we need 3 pumps? If we just have a new cooling tower put in, do we put a new cooling tower in and use old pumps?
Yeah, these pumps have not been replaced.
They're what, please?
They have not been replaced. These are older pumps. They weren't part of the cooling tower project.
So we installed 167,000 or whatever it was, cooling tower, and installed or reinstalled an old pump.
The pumps are in the compressor, so they weren't part of the cooling tower.
It wasn't part of the cooling tower?
Correct.
Okay. And why didn't you go out for bid on this item?
ESI has intimate knowledge of the system. They've been working with us for, like I said, 5 years. When we took it over, there was a vendor there that clearly did not know what they were doing, and ESI had to come in and clean up a lot of that. So essentially, they know what they're doing, and so if we went out to bid, even if someone came in lower, we don't know if they would be able to diagnose it the same way, if they would come at it with the same approach. And this is a facility that, you know, everyone knows if it goes down for a week, people are up in arms about. So with a vendor like this that we trust and has been kind of nursing it back to health for the last 4 years, you know, we trust them to do this work.
So with the statements that there is a significant amount of work to be performed to ensure the proper operations of this facility, with ESI being at the helm for 5 years, how is it that these things are just coming up for repair now? Why wasn't that something that was brought up
But
when they first started checking this stuff out?
We've been up in front of council with all kinds of repairs to the rink over the last 5 years. You know, compressors and the tower, and, you know, it's an old system. A lot of these components are original to that, you know, 2003. So it's just, they're at the end of their life.
Had ESI made any recommendations to the department to either rebuild these compressors or replace these 3 pumps in the past?
No.
So this is just something that came to their attention now?
Well, it's part of, yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
they do our maintenance.
So we have quotes in here with 2 different dates. One of them is for the 96,556 dated May 28th. The other is for the option to replace all 3 pumps for 53,673, and that is dated February 12th, 2026. Why didn't the department come to us back then instead of waiting till now? And even more important, I guess the question is, because of some of the comments that I've heard in the seriousness of the condition of these things, why wasn't this dealt with back then?
Well, we wanted to put it in the capital budget for this upcoming year. That's why. Like I said, we've been in communication with ESI. They let us know about it, and we talked to them about whether or not these things can hold off until July, and they indicated they could. So that's why we put it into the capital budget for FY27, and that's why we're here tonight. So that when that budget becomes available, we can turn them loose and they can hit the ground running.
What's left in your capital budget for fiscal year 2026?
Oh, I don't have that information.
Maybe Christie has it. You said
Maybe Christie has
she's
it.
watching, right?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't have that ready.
All right, so two things I'll need to follow up on. The balance in 2026 capital budget.
That's what I thought.
And the other. Okay, that's the questions I have for right now. Any questions from members of the committee? Councilman Muto.
Thank you, Chairman. Hi, Director.
So,
This is more of a clarification. I heard one number, but I'm seeing another, so I just want a clarification. There's two numbers on the bid, 96,556.39, and you mentioned there's a 56,673.35,
53.
but it's supposed to be 53?
53.
Yep, okay, that's why I just wanted a clarification, make sure that is the 53 is the actual number.
53,673.35.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
the right number.
sorry.
Okay. Nope, no problem. The math wasn't mathing, so just wanted to double check. And as far as the rebuild goes, these are past the the useful life. What else will be needed after this rebuild to get the towers and the rinks up to shape?
Well, we replaced that cooling tower last year. There are two cooling towers there. They're the same age. So that second one, as Council President indicated, is part of our capital for this fiscal year as well.
Okay, so there's plans for that going forward. Okay, great. That's all the questions I have.
Do we have any questions from members of the council? Any questions from members of the council? Any questions from members of the public? Do we have any questions from members of the public? Hearing none, thank you, Director. We will move on to item number 3, which is 2027-044, found on page 18. It is asphalt, concrete, and hot mix.
This is DPW reviewed 6 bids submitted for asphalt, concrete, hot mixes, and cold patch. Recommend award to all 6 bidders. New contract period will be September 15th of 26 to September 14th of 27, requesting a cap of $90,000 for the 1-year period.
Eric, I probably should know the answer to this, but I don't. Why is cold patch so much more expensive than regular hot asphalt?
Sometimes the cold patch, they'll put an additive in so it can set up in the cold weather, whereas the hot mix, or that'll stay pliable longer, that's typically what it is, that there's an additive in it.
Okay. We had authorized the purchase, and the department had bought a hot asphalt machine, I'll call it, for lack of a better description.
Yeah, hot box.
Hot box. Are we using that piece of equipment?
Yeah. This time of year, we don't need it because
No.
the asphalt stays. But yeah, when the temperatures drop, we'll put the mix into that, and that'll buy us some more time to use it. Absolutely.
And have we been using it this past winter?
I assume that we did, but I don't know for sure. Like, I don't remember seeing it go out, but I know
Yeah.
that it's available. So I don't understand why we wouldn't. So I would assume so.
Yeah, I'm not aware of it, because there's been times when I've requested pothole fills, and the answer is, we have to deal with cold patch, and we know what the results are of that. So I know you won't have the answer on that tonight, but I'd like to know when the last time that machine was used, because I'm hearing something a bit different.
Okay.
And is that machine, do you keep track of the use of that machine by hours? Is there an hour meter on that machine?
No.
So there's really, is that attached to another vehicle?
Yeah.
So it's towed along
Yeah.
thing, right? Okay. Okay, I don't have any other questions on that. Any other questions from members of the committee? Yeah, okay. Okay. Any questions from members of the council? No questions from members of the council. Any questions from members of the public? Hearing none. Thank you on that, Director. We'll move on to item number 4, 2027-059.
The Water Division
Eric,
received.
excuse me, bear with me
Sure.
1 minute, please. Eric, you said that, I'm just gonna, well, I'm gonna have to circle back on it. We've already gone past that, but I'm gonna go through the capital budget for this year a little more detail. So if I need to, I can come back with this on the floor. Okay, found on page 26, that's post-type fire hydrants. Go ahead, Eric, I'm sorry.
The Water Division received 4 bids for post-type fire hydrants and are recommending award to all 4 vendors. The price shall remain in place from August 19th, 2026 through August 18th, 2027. Funding for these items will be $65,000, budget code 84364.
Any questions from members of the committee? Any questions from members of the council? Any questions from members of the council? Any questions from members of the public? Do we have any questions from members of the public? Hearing none. Thank you for that, Director. Now we come to the items that are under 50,000. And I'll start off by asking members of the committee if you have anything you want held up. Okay. Councilman Muto, you all set?
Go around, come back to me.
Anyone on the council? Any members of the council? Jeremy, Councilman Ricks, go ahead.
Thank you. I would ask for PCR 85-24 to be assigned a PCR number.
Wait a minute. You just lost me. We're on the bid package.
Oh, yes. Okay. Pardon the confusion.
We're on the items under 50,000, Councilman.
Yeah. Pardon me. I thought that at the bottom of the bid package was an item relating to workers' compensation, self-insured third-party administrator, or fully insured carrier.
Yeah, there is.
Okay.
It's the very last item. It's item number 16, 2022-067.
Wait, yes. Would just like that pulled from the consent, as I need to file a recusal on that one.
Okay, Madam Clerk, we need a PCR. Oh, okay, sure. All right, we'll start off with, well, first of all, does anyone have anything else that they need pulled? Okay, so before I go to members of the public, item number 11, 2027-064, firewall maintenance support at the request of the director. That is going to be assigned PCR, Madam Clerk?
PCR 7226.
7226. Well, thank you very much for that. And we have another item we don't need a PCR on, but just for the record, it's item number 15, 2026-065, vehicle body repair and painting. Just a change in the account number, and that number will change to 76-358. Okay. the members of the public have any items that you wish to have withheld? Any items that the members of the public would like to have withheld? Hearing none. I'll just go right down the list. I'm going to pull out item number 5, 2026-510. Item number 12, 2025-035, it's automotive wet batteries, found on page 69. Item number 15, 2026-065, vehicle body repair and painting, found on page 92. And the last item, number 16, 2022-067, workers' compensation, self-insured third party. At the request of Councilman Ricks, we will be assigning a PCR to that. Madam Clerk?
Did you assign the PCR to that other one? No, it's not on resolution yet, it's just saying. Did you assign the PCR to number 15?
Number 16. No, number 15, we do not.
It's just a typo.
Right. PCR 73-26? Okay. Thank you.
73-26.
Thank you. Okay, item number 5, 2026-510, engineering services, found on page 40.
Eric Earls, Public Works. The Warwick Water Division is requesting to engage engineering services with Stantec Consulting for inspection of the Warwick Water Division's water storage tank. These inspections are required every 5 years, with the last inspection completed in 2021. The proposal is submitted on a time materials basis with a not-to-exceed cost of $40,630.
So, Director, I assume you're going to be answering the questions. It states here that the Rhode Island Department of Health Drinking Water Quality Program is scheduled to conduct a system-wide sanitary survey on June 2nd, 2026. So why is this so late coming to us?
We didn't have a lot of notice with the sanitary survey. It was a month at best. They requested that it be scheduled for June 2nd, and I complied. I met their request. We had no time for this.
So does the department have anyone who tracks these type of things that are going to expire? What would happen if the Rhode Island Department of Health all of a sudden said to the city, hey, it's June 5th, and we're coming in to do some citywide sanitary surveys? How are you going to handle it?
Well, if I can comply, I'll comply. If I can't comply, I can't comply. In other words, if I'm sick, I'm from the hospital, I'm going to say, no, that it doesn't work. But if we're available, we've got nothing to hide. They can come tomorrow if they like.
So are there any penalties or fines in place for not having these things completed
No.
prior to June 2nd?
No, the
No.
way it works is you would get a deficiency. They'll give you, time to come up with a plan to fix it. And in this case, the fact that I had a plan, I don't even think it's a concern on I don't even think it's a concern of the state right now until they see the actual reports. And we're only halfway through 26, so we've got the rest of the year to get these tank inspections done. And it was on my radar. I just didn't plan on doing it prior to June 2nd. But here we are.
And do you have these scheduled, these required inspections scheduled as of now?
Every 5 years.
But you need to do inspections right now, right?
We're due. The last inspections, it says it in the letter, it's explained that the last inspections were in 2021.
Yeah, I
It's
understand that.
26, so yes, we were absolutely planning on doing it this year.
I understand.
It's just sooner than later this year.
This says they're going to conduct the survey on June 2nd. My question to you is, do you have the dates established for these inspections to occur?
Are we talking about the tank inspections or the sanitary surveys?
I'm talking about any inspections that you got to have.
Sanitary surveys are every 3 years. The state contacts you and with a date, and you either say yes or no.
Do you have any inspections that are required to take place this year? Because you're over the 5 years now, right? The 5 years is over. It was if it was 5 years in June, right? We're here. So you're at the end of the 5 years. Do you have any inspections scheduled to take place for the current time? You keep saying we don't have to do them for 5 years. The 5 years is come and gone. That ship has sailed.
It has to be done in 26. It doesn't necessarily have to be done prior to June in 26.
Let me repeat the question. Do you have any inspections scheduled currently?
No, that's
Okay.
why I'm here.
Councilman Bill Facenti, Chief of Staff. So the paragraph that you're reading from is the Department of Health is scheduled to conduct a system-wide sanitary survey on June 2nd. So the Water Department has informed around drinking water quality that Warwick Water Division is currently planning with Stantec, and that's the plan that Director Chief Willett mentioned. In the contract with Stantec, the last section of it says the schedule. Stantec is prepared to begin work immediately upon notice to proceed. Assuming a notice to proceed no later than July 1st, 2026, all work shall be completed within 5 months, November 30th, 2026. So what the chief is saying is that they don't have it scheduled because they have a plan that we're in compliance with Rhode Island water, drinking water quality. We have to have it done within 2026. What he's saying was the Department of Health is asking or said we need to have it done. We were notified on June 2nd. We told them we have a plan to do it in 2026. So the June 2nd, there's nothing scheduled until we have this contract awarded. I'm not sure if
And
that
you
answers-
just said something about it has to be done in 5 months? Is that what you just said?
No, it'll be done within 5 months of
Within
award
5 months?
of notice to proceed. As soon as we award this contract, if we
Okay.
award the contract,
Okay,
Stantec is ready to do it within 5 months of the notice to proceed.
okay. It also says in here that the Warwick Neck tank is believed to be due for rehabilitation because of its proximity to the ocean and associated environmental exposures. What does that supposed to mean? The Warwick Neck tank is believed. I mean, is it or isn't it due for rehabilitation? This says it's believed. That's like ambiguous. That's like pie in the sky. Is this tank due for rehabilitation?
That's what the engineer indicated.
That's for who?
That's what the engineers have indicated, that with a steel tank in proximity to the ocean, I believe it's every 20 years that it needs a rehab. And that's what they need to inspect it to determine whether or not it does at this point.
So this inspection that's going to be done in 2026 is going to include the Warwick Neck tank?
Yes,
Okay.
all tanks.
It also says here that RIDWQ has also indicated that post-repair re-inspections may have been warranted following the 2022 repairs.
I cannot
What is
find.
that?
I cannot find any records of any post-construction inspections after they were repaired.
So the Department of Health is indicating here that post-repair re-inspections may have been warranted following the 2022 repairs. What repairs were done in 2022 that would have prompted them to state that? It also says, I expect to discuss this further during the upcoming sanitation surveys. I would like to discuss it right now. Also indicated that post-repair re-inspections may have been warranted following the 2022 repairs. We're 4 years down the road. I want to know, have there been any re-inspections of those repairs that took place in 2022?
To my knowledge, there have not.
They have not. And does anyone know why?
I do not.
Does anyone, I think you already kind of answered it, but I'm going to come back on it. Does anyone in the water department or the Department of DPW know what they're talking about when they say has also indicated that post-repair re-inspections may have been warranted following the 2022 repairs? Eric, do you know what repairs they're talking about in 2022 that may have required follow-up inspections?
Right, that's what I thought. Yeah, we made some significant repairs to the tanks. I can't remember the details off the top of my head, but I think this is just saying that after a procedure like that, typically they would be inspected to confirm that the work was done in accordance with, whatever. That whole discussion kind of becomes moot now that we're having this entity go out and do the official inspections and kind of get us a more up-to-date snapshot of where we are.
Well, Director, I respectfully disagree with that comment, that it's moot. It's a moot point. To me, it's not a moot point if inspections were required of repairs that were done and they either were not done or we don't have a record of those inspections taking place to approve the repairs that were supposed to be done. I don't think that's a moot point. So not having that information is certainly a concern. And what we're saying is the chief of the water department said, to his knowledge, there were no repairs. We don't have any reports. So I don't think that's a moot point.
So let me clarify that.
Go
a
ahead.
little bit. So I'm unclear as to whether or not those re-inspections were required. During the sanitary survey, they were unclear as to whether or not they were required. So it's not that we didn't do anything we were supposed to do or vice versa. The inquiry was made. So this, in essence, will settle that conversation.
Okay, so you bring up a valid point where you're going to circle back to what they say re-inspections may have been warranted. Did the city get anything from this company stating that those inspections were not necessary? No, so it's left up in the air.
So-
Maybe it's necessary, maybe it's not, but nobody followed up on it. So here we are, 4 years later, with water tanks that had repairs to them at some point that we don't know what the repairs were, and we don't know whether or not they were inspected. Apparently, whatever the repairs were, thank God that they worked, because I'm not aware of any tanks leaking or crashing down or anything of that nature. It also says further, Stantec has worked closely with the specialized inspection firms to evaluate and document the conditions of the facilities and make recommendations for short and long-term improvements. When did they do that? Twofold question. When did they do that, and where is the report?
I don't have the report with me. but that was done prior to 2020,
Do
2021.
do you have the report?
Yes.
And you don't remember when it was done? Was it done since you've been here?
It was done just prior to 2021. So the tank repairs were done as a result of the report that Stantec generated.
But it says they make recommendations for short and long-term improvements. You just stated you have the report, but yet you also stated that this was done in 2021. So I'm going to ask you to send me a copy of that report that talks about the specialized inspection firms to evaluate and document the condition of the facilities and make recommendations for short and long-term improvements.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. And I'm going to make note on that to make sure that I follow up on that. We also have, or I should say, I have a question regarding dates. So on page 46, for the completion dates, page 46, that's in our document right here in our binder. We have dates of commencement date, July 1st, 2026. Estimated completion date, July 1st of 2027. Okay, but on page 44, we have a schedule that is signed by two of the principals of this company, and it says, Stantec is prepared to begin work immediately upon notice to proceed, assuming a notice to proceed no later than July 1st, 2026, and work shall be completed by November 30th, 2026. So what is our contract with them going to say? Is it going to say the completion date is November 30th, 2026, or is it going to say July 1st, 2027?
The November date. It's a
Okay.
one-year contract. That's why it's 1 year on here. But it's going to be the November date, obviously, because we have to get these tanks inspected in 2026.
Director, there's a difference between a one-year I know what a one-year contract is, and there's a difference between a one-year contract and a completion date. And on their letterhead, Stantec Professional Service Agreement, Attachment A, which is part of a document that's going to become part of a contract, it says the estimated completion date is July 1st, 2027. So there's a difference. So the document that's signed by them is the commitment that I'm looking for, is that this work is going to be completed by November 30th, 2026. There's a big difference between November 30th and July 1st, particularly when we don't know what inspections were done or what re-inspections may have taken place or what repairs were done or not done. So yeah, I think 7-month time frame is important. And I want to be certain that the contract is going to say completion is completed by November 30th, 2026.
So Councilman Bill Facenti again. So it is a one-year contract. So if you let me, can you just let me finish? It's a
Go ahead.
one-year contract.
Go ahead.
So we award the contract for a year. They have said in their report that I read, and you just read it, upon getting a notice to proceed, which they don't have yet, they will complete the work within 5 months. If it's awarded and they have a notice to proceed by July 1st, it'll be November 30th. If this is held and continued to be held and they don't get a notice to proceed until August, it'll be December 2026. So it's a moving target, but it's a one-year contract. So that's the explanation. As soon as we get a notice to proceed, they will start, assuming July 1st, since it is June 15th.
Assuming this council approves this bid, is there any reason that Stantec would not receive a notice to proceed by July 1st?
Well, so they have, as you know, the bid, once it's awarded by council, then the purchasing agent gives them a conditional award. They have to provide a certificate of insurance, which they already have, and a certificate of good standing, which does take some time. They probably already have that within this year because they have other contracts with the city. So I can't tell you exactly the day it's going to be, but if it's awarded tonight, they will have an order to proceed from us by July 1st.
Chief, I can assure you that in all the years that I've had to provide certificate of insurance and documents from the Secretary of State, it's a matter of seconds.
It depends on the
get
business.
this.
Right, depends on the business.
It's very simple. You go on the computer, it's all online. Go look up whatever company you want. It'll show Secretary of State's listing right there. The insurance company from Stantec, they should be able to provide you with the insurance certificate
I agree.
within minutes.
We have their insurance already
Okay.
on file.
All right, so then there's really no reason why this shouldn't proceed. The point is, the contract should not say that this completion date is as of July 1st, 2027. There is a huge window between today and then for failure to occur in these tanks because of information and things of repairs that we're not certain of.
Okay.
Any other questions on that item from members of the council? Members of the public? Any questions from members of the public? Hearing none. Thank you, Director. The next item is item number 11, 2027-064, found on page 65, and it has now become PCR 72-26. Director, you have the floor.
Phil Carlucci, IT Director. This request is for our standard annual maintenance on the city's 2 firewalls. Very recently, a potential option was brought to our attention that could have some long-term savings. We have not had a chance to vet that as an option, but I would like that to be available to us if it turns out to be something that would be beneficial technically and cost-wise to the city. So my request, if approved, would be to add one company. That would be Ocean Inc., OSHEAN Incorporated, as a potential vendor for this firewall maintenance.
Okay, makes sense to me. Any questions from members of the committee? Any questions from members of the council? Any questions from members of the public? Do we have any questions from members of the public? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion on PCR 72-26.
Second.
We have a motion for favorable. We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Excuse me? Okay, got it. Yeah, thank you for that. So I need a motion to amend to add Ocean Inc. as an additional vendor.
So moved.
We have a motion, we have a second. All in favor? Aye. Now I'll move favorable as amended.
Second.
Great. All in favor? Aye. Thank you very much. Thank you, Joanne. Appreciate the backup and the guidance. Okay, next item number 15, 2026-065, found on page 92, vehicle body repair and painting. On page 92. Thank you, Major. Just 2 quick questions on this that just kind of come to light this afternoon. What repairs are necessary it says this increase is necessary to accommodate additional vehicle repair and painting expenses associated with repairs to an animal control vehicle. I'm assuming that this is accident related?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the two questions. What repairs and why isn't the insurance company, either ours or the other party, if there is a party, paying for it?
So, second question first. Normally, the insurance company, the practice that we're moving towards and prefer is the insurance company just pays the vendor directly. In this case, somehow they didn't, so they sent the city the check instead.
Say that again.
They sent the city the check instead.
Okay.
So that's why we're going through our process to pay the vendor.
Has the city received the check yet?
I would believe so. I'd have to double check on that, but I'm pretty sure they did if we did the work already.
This is an insurance check, Major. So could you check on that for me?
Sure. And this was the result of a crash. It should be in your packet. The list of the items that were either removed or replaced or fixed is all listed there and itemized.
You said it's in the packet?
It should be, yes, sir.
Okay.
I can list off a few items if you like, but it's all
Sure, go ahead.
okay.
I want to see if it matches mine.
Sure. Obviously, the basic stuff like the paint, finish, sand, buff, different additives for the corrosion resistance. There's a cowl grill. There's a fender. There's a testing of the seatbelt system after the fact.
That's good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's in line with what I thought. Okay, that's all I have on that item. Next item is, sorry? Oh, that's right, that's right. So we do have a change in this. Oh, we already talked about that. And we need to change the account number from to number 76358, and we do not need a resolution on that, okay? That's just scribers. Okay. Stay with me. Thank you. Carry on. Yeah, the administrative person, GB, says I can carry on. Okay, item number 16, workers' compensation. We do have a PCR number on that. I believe Councilman Ricks is to recuse. That is 2022-067, now identified as PCR 73-26. It's found on page 94. Councilman Ricks needs to recuse. Do we have any further questions from members of the committee, members of the council, members of the public? Any questions from members of the public? Hearing none, I need a motion on PCR 73-26. We have a motion, we have a second. All in favor? Aye. Thank you all very much. Finance Committee is adjourned at 6:05. Oh. See that? I was just following Council Foley's lead. He was taking a stretch break. Okay. Okay, so we need a motion on PCR 71-26. We have motion favorable. We have a second. Anyone in discussion? Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Aye. Thank you all.
Anything else, boss?
No, that's all we got.
Correction, we are adjourned at 6:06.
Would the Public Safety Committee please convene?
Thank you. Public safety.
Is that me?
Yeah, you're in here.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
It kills me how you can sit in the audience and socialize and mess around, right? But you can't pay attention over here.
Who we missing?
It's
Jeremy.
Jeremy, Councilman Rick. Listen to Joanne.
Good evening. The Public Safety Committee is in session at 6:07 PM. We have one item on the agenda. It is PCR 6226, resolution relative to claim for Whedon. This was carried over from the last meeting. Is Mr. Whedon here? Is Mr. Whedon here? Okay. Chief, was Mr. Whedon notified for this record, for this meeting?
Through the clerk, yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so just a refresher, this was a claim for damage conducted during a fire rescue, and the resident denied or refused city's work to fix the.
So can I just clarify that?
Yeah, you go right ahead.
The resident didn't want to wait until we got to do the work.
Okay.
We responded that we didn't have a date. We were still making the plow repairs. He decided through the claims person that I'm not waiting. I can't turn my sprinklers on. I can't cut my grass. I'm submitting a claim. Once the claim process starts, everything else stops. The claim was denied by fire.
Okay. Thanks for that clarification. So again, the claim was for the repair of the lawn and the area of the road. There was some patching work on the road. We held it over one session to let Mr. Whedon talk about the claim. So I will actually open it up to discussion. Councilman Lattiser.
Thank you, Chairman. I don't have any questions. I just want to confirm that the Chief of Staff did answer the questions that I had asked at the previous meeting. I do have those answers in writing, and it's exactly what he just stated, that the individual, Mr. Whedon, was not willing to wait for the city to get there and do the repairs, and consequently, he did his own, or moved to have his own repairs done. So the opportunity was extended to him for the city to do it. I also want to put on the record that I understand the situation, the narrow road, the fire department having to respond to an emergency, had no alternatives but to drive across the lawn, et cetera. My personal feelings is city's responsible. That's my feelings. But we had that discussion. But I want that to be noted, that when there is something that occurs like that, whether it's, well, let me back up. I'm certain it's never intentional, so it's accidental. Either way, somebody's got to be responsible when that type of thing occurs. But thank you for following up on that, Chief. I appreciate it. And, okay, I'll hold.
Thank you. So what really strikes me about this is that really it comes back to poor planning. This isn't the fault of anybody here today. It's really a matter of, okay, when they laid out this particular road in a particularly narrow way, I don't think that they were exactly planning for these kinds of vehicles to be moving through. But it's been quite a while since we've had large fire apparatus, large rescue apparatus. It's the 21st century. We should probably be doing something about this. So where my analysis on this is that normally, if it's necessary on the rare occasion for a rescue or fire apparatus to drive on a lawn, unavoidable in order to get to the destination, save life, protect people, then yeah, the calculation has to be there that, okay, the lawn's going to get torn up. That happens. But where it's designed effectively because of the narrow road, that in situations like this, it's perfectly predictable that the lawn is going to get run over and torn up. Well, at a certain point, I think that the city has to take some level of responsibility there. It's a little bit of a tricky case. I wish that Mr. Whedon was here on this $950 claim. I have a feeling that similar situations like this are going to come up again, so I want to make sure that my opinion is clear and on the record here that if the city is setting itself up to continue to be in this position in situations like this with a narrow road, then I do think that the city should ultimately bear responsibility, because the city is ultimately making its own cost-benefit determination on whether to expand to widen the road enough so that its own fire apparatus can effectively get down the city road. So otherwise, I view it more through the constitutional lens of, if the city is going to constantly, or from time to time, anticipate driving over this person's lawn, seems a bit like a taking to me. And so then the person deserves fair compensation for that taking. I don't think it's necessarily reasonable. And I should preface that by saying that when a definitive repair date could not be offered, I would like to hear a little bit more about the context of all of that. Was it a matter of, okay, we're able to come out there next week, but we can't give you a date certain? Or is it maybe we can get out there in a month, maybe 2 months, we don't know? Because there is a bit of a difference there as well. But I don't have that information, so I don't know. Anyways, at a certain point in time, I think that it does become reasonable where the claimant, the homeowner, is not being given a date certain from the city as to when the city would repair his yard, for the homeowner to go out and hire a suitable vendor to go out and do that work for them. We often see bids from this particular vendor for this general type of work. I don't know the precise scope of work and all of that. Again, I'd like to get more information on those details, but if it's a reasonable amount for the scope of work here, then I would actually be inclined to go ahead and award that amount, as long as all of the other information is also being provided, because this is the type of situation that really better planning would have prevented it in the first place, even though there might not have been negligence in that very moment. So those are my comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Any comments from the council?
Yes, I do.
Oh, Mr. President.
So from my perspective, there are layers to the problems here for this particular claim. One, the claimant went along with the repair on their own despite the offer for the city to do it. Two, we only have not even an estimate. They just simply got it from a vendor. We don't have any explanation as to why time was an issue, considering it was just damage to the lawn. Granted, damage is damage. I'm sure it was unsightly to a degree. And perhaps more importantly, the claimant at no point has, unless I've missed something, responded to any of the correspondence regarding these meetings or the potential denial of their claim, other than to initially request an appeal. So I'm not sure why we should carry the water for them, especially when, using the same analogy, they didn't carry the water in the way that we've set out it's supposed to be done. Really, any aspect of it, other than going through with the appeal. It does not set a good precedent for how we handle claims. I understand that setting all that aside, the actual substantive part, yes, I understand the analysis. I don't necessarily disagree one way or another. I just don't think we should be fighting the fight for them when they apparently have no interest in doing so, nor in doing so the way that they're supposed to. That's it for me.
Thank you, Mr. President. Councilman DeLuise.
Okay. Well, first of all, if I was choking or dying or my cat was being threatened by flames, I don't care if you tear up my lawn, my neighbor's lawn, doesn't matter. What upsets me more than that is if the claimant, okay, we have to take our time to be here, okay? I believe we've already wasted too much time on a $950 claim, and he was notified to be here 2 meetings, okay? So I'm inclined to deny this claim, okay? I know we approve hundreds and millions of dollars, but this just upsets me that the person that's fighting the city for $950 couldn't take time to show up here tonight. So my vote is to deny this claim.
Thank you, Councilman. Any other comments from the council?
Yes.
Councilman Kirby.
Yes, Chief. In our binders, it says that was an estimate from Yardworks for $950, not an invoice. Do we know who really did this work yet? If he didn't do it himself.
I have no idea. We didn't do it.
So we don't know.
He hasn't communicated other than the last communication that I had heard through an email from the claims person. She spoke to him. He wanted a firm date, didn't get the firm date, filed a claim.
Without 3 bids, only 1 bid, and it's only an estimate, how can we even go along any further with this?
It's not required for 3 on a property damage claim. That's only for, I believe, a tire pothole claim.
Yeah.
But it's in your court now. It's not anything I can do.
I don't think we have the answers to really put an honest vote on this, and we don't even know if Yardworks did the work, and we're going to pay $950 to someone that possibly didn't do the work.
I have no idea. It was like I said, tire ruts in the driveway, and it was filled in with, when I went by it and saw it, it was filled in with loam.
I did. I rode by the
It
next day.
didn't seem like anything the city of Warwick, DPW couldn't have done for
I'm
free.
sure.
Yeah.
In all due respect, I think as far as fixing the lawn could have been done for like 300 or so. Pardon?
And hear you.
I think the 950 is excessive for just the lawn part.
I have no knowledge of what was done and what it would have cost.
I don't know who repaired the road and if that was included in the 950, but
I don't know if I don't think the road has been repaired.
Crack filler.
Yeah, well, crack filling, but we would have done that.
Yeah.
I don't think Yardworks has any authority to crack fill out the road.
So we don't know who did the work, and I can't see how we go any further.
I'm not disagreeing with anything you say. It's your decision, not anything else I can add.
Great. Thank you, Councilman. Any comments from the public? Any comments from the public? Looking for a motion? Councilman
Make a
Lattiser.
motion to deny.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. That is the last piece of business on the public safety. We are adjourned at 6:22. Thank you.
Would the intergovernmental committee please convene?
Okay, good evening. Time is now 6:23, and the Intergovernmental Committee comes to order. There are no minutes for approval, so we'll move right to our first item of business.
Mr. Chairman, I'll be recusing on this matter.
I'm sorry?
I'll be recusing on this first matter.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
First item of business, an appointment to the Land Trust Commission from Ward 2, Earl Simpson. Mr. Simpson is here, present, and this appointment, carries a certain significance, as this is Mr. Simpson will be stepping in to fill the big shoes of Mr. Mike Zarum. Who sadly passed away earlier this year. Okay, so appointment to the Land Trust Commission, Mr. Earl Simpson. Mr. Simpson, would you like to take the mic? Dr. Simpson.
It's not Doctor, it's Earl. I'm pleased to appear before the council tonight. I'm usually at home watching you folks on YouTube and griping about the microphones that don't work and I can't hear what you're saying, whatever. But I'm pleased to be here tonight. I'm a 45-year resident of the city of Warwick, having spent 42 years at Rhode Island College, retiring 3 years ago. In the recent past, I've become actively involved with the Audubon Society of Rhode Island and become active in their trying to save landscapes, forests, wetlands, places where animals live, birds, things like that. A few years ago, time goes by fast when you're having fun, the city ran into a concern over solar farms. And I got actively involved with a group of people, Mike Zarum being one of them, Jane Austin, chair of the commission, being one of them, AJ Pandey, who's here, being one of them. And we actively worked with the council to work on changing zoning regulations for where solar farms could go, and became much more actively concerned about city government, which is why I listen to YouTube all the time. And so upon the untimely death of Mike Zarum, I thought about it for a while and then contacted Councilman Ricks and volunteered to join the Land Trust and work to save open space for the city, wetlands, forests, and just make the city a better place to live, hopefully. So that's why I volunteered for that. I don't know if you guys have any questions.
Thank you so much. And I do think it would be an appropriate time for questions. Do any of the committee members have any questions? Councilman Muto.
Thank you. Actually, no questions, just to thank you for stepping up and bringing your experience and your passion to the position. Jane Austen's running a great committee, and I share my enthusiasm that you will make the city of Warwick better. So thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Members of the council, Councilman Ricks.
Chairman.
Thank you. First, thank you, Earl, for stepping up. It's a lot to ask for volunteers to be giving their time, knowledge, expertise on a commission like this. I'm signing you up for a term of 5 years, so I hope you're ready for it. So,
Time goes by fast when you're having fun, so.
well, all kidding aside, it really is something where volunteers like yourself are really something that makes Warwick a great place to live. I know that, and I have full confidence in your ability to hit the ground running in this position, having, since you had worked with Mr. Zerum on some related issues in the past, as well as knowing and working with other members of the Land Trust in the past on some of these different topics, the way that you follow the City Council on YouTube and often coming here in person. It's wonderful to see public participation like this, and it's largely a thankless type of position. Volunteer takes a lot of hours, but it's what makes Warwick tick. And so just want to make sure, since it is a thankless position, that we are at least giving you some thanks here this evening. Thank you in advance for what I hope is many years of productive work on the Land Trust, and always looking forward to staying in touch and working with the Land Trust, seeing how we can protect Warwick open spaces and other priorities that the Land Trust has. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilman. Anyone else? Councilman Lattiser.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Simpson, one of the first things that they told me when I was heading to boot camp was never volunteer. That I remember. Seriously. Thank you not for only volunteering to serve on this commission, but for the constant attention that you have given to the city, your attendance at countless amounts of city council meetings, and your input and your direction and your opinions are just so valuable to us. And I look forward to having you serve on the Land Trust Commission and carrying on those same things that you do here. So congratulations and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Do any members of the public have anything to add? Just please step up to the microphone. Just state your name for the
Liz
record.
Colt, a member of the Warwick Land Trust. And although it's apparent to me that it's absolutely unnecessary for me to discuss Earl's qualifications and enduring interest in the city of Warwick, and particularly how we manage our natural resources and other resources, I did want to get up here and say that I, along with my fellow trustees, sounds fancy, feel very lucky that Councilman Ricks nominated Earl, and by all indications that he will be joining us shortly as an official member of the Warwick Land Trust, because so far and for the past several months he's been an unofficial member, and a pleasure and a great contributor to the conversation. So thank you.
Thank you so much for your kind words. Any other members of the public have anything to add? Mr. Pende?
Good evening, everybody. I'm AJ Panda. I'm also on the Land Trust. I'm a member at large. I'd like to begin by thanking Councilman Ricks for putting Earl Simpson's name forward for appointment to the Land Trust. I believe Earl will be an outstanding addition to the Warwick Land Trust. He's been an active member of our community for many years, as many of you already stated. His academic and professional background clearly demonstrates the executive skills and leadership experience that the commission will benefit from. Earl's long involvement with the Audubon Society, which is the state's largest holder of conservation land, brings a valuable perspective on land stewardship and conservation that will only strengthen the work of the Warwick Land Trust. He's also been attending our meetings for the last several months, which means he's really eager to start, which is a good thing, and we always want that. We welcome Earl's enthusiasm and willingness to serve, and I respectfully urge the council to approve his nomination. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Any other members of the public have anything to add? Seeing none. Do we have a motion?
A motion to approve.
Second.
A motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Okay. Welcome to the Land Trust, Earl. Okay. Next up, we have PCR 6626, a resolution to the Rhode Island Department of Transportation requesting paving and engineering review of Greenwich Avenue. I believe this is Council President Snappi.
Yep. So this is before us because the short version is the state DOT keeps giving myself and Representative Bennett the runaround. This has been going on for some time, where there's a portion of Greenwich Ave that's within a neighborhood that is in dire need of paving, and the residents have been asking for such because it's a state road. The current mechanism is that we have to go through the state for them to fix it. We've complied with every way that they said it needed to be done, and they keep changing the manner in which they say the request has to come in after we comply. And so this hopefully can't be any clearer now, where if it passes, it'll be a resolution from the council, signed by the mayor. I'd like to think we will stop getting the runaround and they will actually acknowledge and agree that this is in the queue to be paved. So that's why it's here. There's also a little add-on here for I guess there's a sinkhole in front of Crown Plaza, a reoccurring one. So I figured while they're looking at things, they could look at that as well.
Thank you, Council President. Any members of the committee have any questions on this? Members of the council? Any members of the public? Resolution 6626, paving on Greenwich Avenue. Seeing none, do we have a motion?
Move favorable action.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And finally, PCR 70-26, a resolution to the Rhode Island Department of Transportation and State Traffic Commission requesting a traffic study of Greenwich Avenue where it intersects with Lancaster Avenue and Brianna Lane. And I believe this is something related to a crosswalk.
Yep, this is a request for either a crosswalk or at least for something to be done, because at this intersection, the distance between a crosswalk currently, if you wanted to use one, is all the way at Crown or at Apponaug. It's quite a distance. It's not really viable. And this wasn't as much of an issue before, but ever since the road diet was implemented, apparently it's become far more difficult if you'd like to actually cross the road as a pedestrian. So rather than forcing people to play Frogger, I'd like for them to look into this and take action.
Okay, sounds reasonable to me. Any members of the committee have any questions? Members of the council? Members of the public? Seeing none, do we have a motion?
Motion for favorable action.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And with that, at 6:36, intergovernmental is adjourned. Thank you.
Would the Community Affairs Committee please convene? Public Properties Community Affairs, full title. Use is in there too.
Aye. This is it. That's it. Right there.
The City Council Committee on Public Properties, Land Use, and Community Affairs comes to order at 6:37. We have one item on the agenda, PCR 6926, a resolution in observance of Pride Month. So I'll just start out. We typically do have a resolution in observance of Pride Month every year. June is Pride Month. And I'm glad that Warwick will continue to docket and hear this resolution, even if the federal government chooses not to. So, any questions, comments, members of the committee? Questions, comments, members of the council? Questions, comments, members of the public? I'm glad this is not controversial at all in Warwick.
Favorable action?
We have a motion for favorable action. Do we have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 4-0.
That concludes our committees. Would the full council please convene?
All right, the full council will convene at 6:41 PM. Clerk will please call the roll. Here.
Mr. DeLuise? Mr. Foley? Mr. Gephardt? Mr. Kirby?
Here.
Mr. Lattiser?
Really? Yeah. My apologies. I should have looked left before. That's my fault. Please hold.
Mr. Lattiser,
Here.
Mr. Muto,
Here.
Mr. Ricks.
Here.
8 present.
Councilman Kirby, can you lead us, please, in the salute to the flag?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bomb bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, first up is general communications, announcements of congratulations, condolences, or community events. Does anyone have anything for general communications? All right, moving on to executive communications, for which there are none. Next is public comment. Rule 41, after general communications and prior to the consent calendar at the last regularly scheduled meeting of the City Council each month, there shall be a period of time not to exceed 30 minutes during which citizens may comment about Warwick City government issues subject to the following stipulations. The total period of time for public comment shall not exceed 30 minutes. Comments need to be brief in order to allow as many citizens as possible to speak, provided, however, that if more than 6 citizens are signed up and present, the 30 minutes will be split evenly amongst speakers. Time shall not be transferable among speakers. The topics for comment shall be issues directly affecting city government. City council members will not respond to questions during the public comment period. The public comment session will terminate at the expiration of the earlier of all speakers concluding their allotted time or 30 minutes. Waiver of this provision requires unanimous vote of the council. First up, we have Rob Cody.
Rob Cody, Ward 7. I just wanted to bring everybody up to date on my First Amendment lawsuit with the city, which was initiated due to the actions of the former councilwoman, convicted criminal Travis. I recently received discovery from both convicted criminal Travis and Council President Sinapi, where they both attempted to discredit me when I make fiscal issues public through emails that affect the taxpayer. Convicted criminal Travis attempts to go back to 2012 to discredit me because of the work that I spearheaded to end the automobile taxes. She seems to be upset that during my research on the matter, I discovered that her car taxes and her property taxes have been delinquent for years, although she voted to increase property taxes and decrease the auto exemption, which increased automobile taxes, she didn't pay her bills in the way that every other resident is obligated to do so. She attaches numerous letters sent to her by a neighbor that she's had a long-standing feud with. How that has anything to do with this case is bewildering. To be truthful, I really can't wait until her deposition. Can you imagine the questions? Ms. Travis, is it true that you were indicted by the grand jury for falsifying official documents in the effort to steal a piece of property? Ms. Travis, did you eventually plead guilty for the actions you took to steal a piece of property? Can you imagine how rapidly her character will be impeached? Yet the city continues to spend taxpayer money to defend a convicted criminal. It's amazing. Then in reviewing Mr. Sinapi's responses, he also attempts to put forth documents and emails that I have circulated pertaining to the waste, theft, and abuse, and use these things to attempt to discredit me. All relative matters directly affecting taxpayers and city government. The responses that he put forth from residents who've witnessed him exert Rule 19 to shut me down, as well as to shut down a seated councilman, are incredible. Here are some of the quotes from residents describing him that he's attached in his discovery. Petulant child, full of his own ego, disrespectful to residents, rude and smug, ringmaster of the circus, unacceptable lack of respect, outright disdain for the public. These are the documents that he has put forward himself. Interestingly enough, I discovered the Rhode Island Supreme Court decision of December 17th about Mr. Sinapi, which is a publicly available document to anybody, and it states the following points. The applicant displayed an intentional lack of candor in his response to certain questions on the bar application. The applicant had no legal basis for withholding certain information and documents on the bar application. The applicant was reticent in responding to subsequent requests for information that he failed to provide to the bar application. The applicant indicated the only ultimate reason that he turned over the documents that he initially failed to provide was because he thought that he would not get his license to practice law. The applicant displayed disdain and hostility towards the character and fitness process and how he chose to respond to requests for information that is sought from every applicant. The applicant appears to operate from the perspective that his own perceptions of fairness should trump any rules or requirements to which he is subject to. The applicant has displayed a persistent pattern of resisting authority and being unwilling to comply with requirements that he deems to be unfair to him unless and until compliance is forced upon him. And finally, the applicant, both directly and through his attorney, displayed a significant lack of respect for the character and fitness process, as well as significant lack of awareness or interest in how his behavior is perceived by others. Do any of these characteristics seem to be familiar behavior in this body? I'm sure that the depositions of these two individuals, along with those of other council members, will lead to examples of a distinct pattern of behavior that has persisted in this body for years in the sole effort to shut down any critics of the council and to purposely bully residents to quash their First Amendment rights. I will be sure to keep you all posted as things progress in this case, which again was initiated by the former councilwoman,
You have 1 minute,
convicted
Mr.
criminal
Cody.
Travis. Thank you.
And I apologize in advance because I can't quite read this, but I think it's David. And the last name begins with the D. DeRosa? DeRosier? My apologies.
Okay, this is the first time I've done something like this. Hi, I'm David DeRosier. I live at 48 Draper Avenue. I'm here to address the council about the Rhode Island Alternative Academy that's located in the old Green Elementary at 51 Draper, right across the street from my house. We've been in Warwick for about 8 years. We've seen the Green Elementary School first as temp offices for the city offices, which was very convenient to walk across the street and pay my taxes and utility bills. Then as a distribution of school.
I apologize, but can you speak into the mic? The acoustics in here are awful, so it's hard to hear you.
So we've seen the elementary school since we've been here, first as a temporary office for the city of Warwick that housed tax office and various other offices. Very convenient, walk across the street, pay my bills. Then it was used as the distribution center for education products such as laptops during COVID. And then the Rhode Island Alternative Academy moved in. So, and also during this time, the Gorton Junior High building housed 2 different elementary schools in the course of 3 years while their schools were renovated. So we were accustomed to school-age children, such as recess food trucks and graduations. Never had any issues. Without notice to our community, Rhode Island Alternative Education opened up approximately 3 years ago, and that's when the problem started. First, we like to mention that the concept of school for students who need extra resources and more support is a guaranteed. With having a nephew who has autism, who went to a charter school and thrived, we understand. That being said, what we are here for, to make you aware what we have experienced, multiple disturbing incidences that have occurred, not in the building, but outside the building, on the street, on the sidewalk, in our neighborhood. The age group appears to be middle school age to high school age. The web page for this school shows elementary school kids, which is the only photos they have. To be honest, I have never seen elementary age children there. Some examples we have experienced are students standing outside the building, yelling, swearing at residents, delivery drivers, mailman, and just random cars passing by. Other behaviors included banging on the door multiple times, which had lead to breaking the door, throwing rocks at windows, whacking the windows with big sticks, and verbally threatening neighbors and members of the staff at the school. On 2 different occasions, for 2 consecutive school years.
You have 1 minute, sir.
Okay, my wife and I went over and talked to the superintendent, and he was condescending and unprofessional. So I have reached out to Ed several times, and he's followed up with me. What we want to see is, we want these kids to have an education. We want a plan. There's no plan. The school, basically, if they misbehave, they put them outside, they lock the door, and we have to pay for it. We need somebody to follow up. I know the school year has ended. I hope changes before the next school year starts. How can we make changes for everyone involved? We would like to be updated before the next school year. And that's my time. Okay, thank you.
So next we move on to appointments requiring confirmation. First, we have the Land Trust Commission. Earl Simpson. This is intergovernmental, so Councilman Gephardt.
Mr. President, I'll be recusing.
Yes, Mr. President, the committee recommended unanimously favorable action.
For action, Councilman Ricks.
Move favorable action.
Any discussion regarding the motion for favorable action? Councilman Gephardt? Oh, just seconding? Got it. All right. Any discussion? All right, seeing none, clerk will please call the roll.
Mr. Sinapi?
Yes.
Mr. DeLuise? Yes. Mr. Foley? Yes. Mr. Gephardt?
Yes.
Mr. Kirby?
Yes.
Mr. Lattiser?
Yes.
Mr. Muno?
Yes.
Mr. Ricks?
Yes.
8 yes, appointment passes.
All right, next is the consent calendar, PCR 71-26, resolution relative to bids. This is Finance, Councilman Lattiser.
Finance Committee recommends favorable action.
For action, Councilman Lattiser.
Move favorable action on PCR 71-26.
Second.
All right, and there were 2 bids separated out. Is there any further discussion regarding the consent calendar, besides the 2 bids that were separated out, which obviously is no longer on the calendar? All right, seeing none, clerk will please call the roll.
Mr. Sinapi?
Yes.
Mr. DeLuise? Mr. Foley? Mr. Gephardt?
Yes.
Mr. Kirby?
Yes.
Mr. Lattiser?
Yes.
Mr. Muno?
Yes.
Mr. Ricks?
Yes.
8 yes, consent passes.
All right, and now regarding the 2 items that were separated out, Councilman Lattiser.
The first item is PCR 72-26, formerly 2027-064. And the committee recommended favorable action. There is an amendment.
All right, for action, Councilman Lattiser.
Move favorable action on the amendment, which would be to add a vendor, Ocean Inc., to PCR 72-26.
Second.
All right, and discussion, what was the name of that vendor again, please?
Ocean Inc. That was the additional
Ocean?
vendor.
Got it,
Yes.
all right. All right. Any further discussion? Seeing none, clerk will please call the roll on the amendment.
Sorry.
No worries.
Mr. Sinapi?
Yes.
Mr. DeLuise?
Yes.
Mr. Foley? Mr. Gephardt? Yes. Mr. Kirby?
Yes.
Mr. Lattiser?
Yes.
Mr. Muno?
Yes.
Mr. Ricks?
Yes.
8 yes to amend.
All right, PCR 72-26 now stands before us as amended. For action, Councilman Lattiser.
Move favorable action on PCR 72-26 as amended.
Second.
Are you saying 72 or 73?
72.
Got it. All right, sorry.
26.
That's my fault. I misheard. All right, and it was seconded by Councilman Muno. Is there any further discussion as amended? All right, seeing none, clerk will please call the roll.
Mr. Sinapi?
Yes.
Mr. DeLuise?
Yes.
Mr. Foley? Mr. Gephardt? Mr. Kirby?
Yes.
Mr. Lattiser?
Yes.
Mr. Muno?
Yes.
Mr. Ricks?
Yes.
8 yes, as amended.
All right, and the next item that was separated out, Councilman Lattiser.
That would be item number 2022-067, now PCR 73-26, workers' compensation self-insured. And it was at the request of Councilman Ricks for a recusal.
All right, for action, Councilman Lattiser.
Move favorable action on PCR 73-26.
Second.
All right, any further discussion? All right, seeing none, clerk will please call the roll.
Mr. Sinapi?
Yes.
Mr. DeLuise?
Yes.
Mr. Foley? Mr. Gephardt? Yes. Mr. Kirby?
Yes.
Mr. Lattiser?
Yes.
Mr. Muno?
Yes.
Mr. Ricks?
Recuse.
7 yes, 1 recusal.
All right, next is unfinished business, PCR 62-26, resolution relative to claim for Whedon. This is public safety. Councilman Muno.
Thank you, Mr. President. The committee recommended denial.
All right, for action, Councilman Muno.
Committee recommended denial. Motion, favorable action for the denial.
Second.
All right, any further discussion on this? Councilman DeLuise?
So would that be unfavorable action
So it's favorable action on the denial.
on the denial?
Yeah. So if you vote yes, you're sustaining or affirming rather, the denial of the claim.
Got it.
Any further discussion on this? All right, seeing none, clerk will please call the roll.
Mr. Sinapi?
Yes.
Mr. DeLuise?
Yes.
Mr. Foley? Mr. Gephardt?
Yes.
Mr. Kirby?
Yes.
Mr. Lattiser?
Yes.
Mr. Muno?
Yes.
Mr. Ricks?
Yes.
8 yes to deny.
All right, and we're on to new business, PCR 66-26, a resolution to the Rhode Island Department of Transportation requesting paving and engineering review of Greenwich Avenue. This is intergovernmental. Councilman Gebhardt.
Yes, Mr. President, committee recommended favorable action.
For action, Councilman Gebhardt.
Move favorable action.
Is there a second?
Second.
Oh, thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing, that was Councilman Lattiser. Seeing none, clerk will please call the roll.
Mr. Sinapi?
Yes.
Mr. DeLuise?
Yes.
Mr. Foley? Mr. Gephardt?
Yes.
Mr. Kirby?
Yes.
Mr. Lattiser?
Yes.
Mr. Muto?
Yes.
Mr. Riggs? 8 yes, motion passes.
All right, next is PCR 69-26, a resolution in observance of Pride Month. This is public properties. Councilman Riggs.
Recommend favorable action.
For action, Councilman Riggs.
Move favorable action.
Second.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, clerk will please call the roll.
Mr. Sinapi?
Yes.
Mr. DeLuise?
Yes.
Mr. Foley? Mr. Gephardt?
Yes.
Mr. Kirby?
Yes.
Mr. Lattiser?
Yes.
Mr. Muto?
Yes.
Mr. Riggs?
Yes.
8 yes, motion passes.
Next is PCR 70-26, a resolution to the Rhode Island Department of Transportation and the State Traffic Commission requesting a traffic study of Greenwich Avenue where it intersects Lancaster Avenue and Brianna Lane. This is intergovernmental. Councilman Gebhardt.
Yes, Mr. President, committee recommended favorable action.
For action, Councilman Gebhardt.
Move favorable.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Lattiser. Any further discussion? Seeing none, clerk will please call the roll.
Mr. Sinapi?
Yes.
Mr. DeLuise?
Yes.
Mr. Foley?
Yes.
Mr. Gephardt? Mr. Kirby?
Yes.
Mr. Lattiser?
Yes.
Mr. Muto?
Yes.
Mr. Riggs?
Yes.
8 yes, motion passes.
All right, we're on to unanimous consent. Does anyone have anything for unanimous consent? Seeing none.
Since there's no further business before this honorable body, I move to a docketing session.
Excuse me for once. Could I just interject? I don't know if we overlooked it or if I missed it. Could we just have a moment of silence? I don't know if you had mentioned it earlier, but for the young boy that drowned in my ward in Connecticut on Friday. And I'm sorry to say that I don't know his name, but I've been living there most of my life, and I've seen these tragedies over and over and over again, and hopefully we can implement something to prevent them. But I'd just like to have a moment of silence for the 7-year-old boy that drowned on, I believe, Friday.
Is there any objection to that? All right, seems like a safe bet. All right, please have a moment of silence for the recently passed individual. And thank you, Councilman DeLuise, for not letting us miss that. And Councilman Foley, back to you, as you had said, requested to move to the docket session. Is there a second? Seconded by Councilman Lattiser. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? All right, Ward 1? Ward 2?
Pass.
Ward 3 is absent. Ward 4?
I actually have two. I don't know if it would, how to go about this, but I'd like to research. I have a lot of complaints I've been getting about e-bikes, and I'd like to docket something to the effect that maybe we could research e-bikes and maybe possibly get rid of them. They're becoming a hazard to drivers. And I've gotten more than one email from people in my area. So
you're looking for an ordinance regarding e-bikes?
An ordinance regarding e-bikes, yes.
The ordinance?
An ordinance.
All right.
And then one other one, what I was discussing about as far as the safety at Connecticut Point. I know there's signage and it's in Spanish and they have an alarm and all that stuff, but I think people really, I grew up basically on the waterfront my whole life, and I have deep respect for the water. I just think we need to make them more aware of the currents when the two waters meet from the south and the north at Connecticut, especially at the sandbar, they need to be more aware of the dangers. So if we could,
Let's docket a resolution regarding Connecticut beach safety, and we'll assign it to the Public Properties Land Use Community Affairs Committee.
yes.
Anything else?
No, thank you.
Ward 5,
Pass.
Ward 6, Ward 7,
Pass.
Ward 9. And I don't believe I have anything either. Let me just double check. Nope, nothing. All right, so we stand adjourned at 7:07 PM.